Hello, my name is Sebastian Muñoz, and I'm the Artistic Director at Force of Nature Productions. And if you want to learn more about our brand new production opening up this weekend, Figments by Thomas J. Misuraca, be sure to listen to this conversation. Well, I first fell in love with theater back in high school. It must have been my, I think, sophomore year of high school. And I just made a great community of friends there. And the drama teacher was fantastic. He was very supportive and encouraged us to always be pushing ourselves. So I always knew there was something special in theater way back in high school. Then I kind of went away from it for a little bit for a great part of my life. You know, life happens, you grow up, responsibilities take place. And I reconnected with my theater roots back around 2010, and I have not looked back since. Well, my mom always had me involved in a lot of different theater, exposed me to a lot of theater at a very, very young age. And I always felt an attraction to it. So even in elementary school, I would participate in a lot of the school plays, and then consequently in every school play. And then I started doing some community theater. So I always loved being on the stage and being able to be part of that scene. And not only until I got older that I become more interested in the directing side of things, the producing things kind of became an after effect of everything that I've done. But I've just always been very passionate about telling stories and being able to fulfill and entertain audiences from all angles and perspectives. So it's a passion and a love of mine, and I'm just happy to be able to do it. Well, the theater experience is very important because it's unlike any other medium out there. You have a one-on-one connection with an audience, and that very moment, it's unique in existence. So you don't get to recreate that anywhere. That relationship between the performer and the audience in that moment, in that space and time, there's no other moment like it, nor will there ever be a moment like that, nor had there ever been an experience before that. So I love the uniqueness and singular moment that that actor gets to connect with that audience member and just leave that lasting impact. There's nothing else like it. And there's something very thrilling, but there's a great responsibility that comes with that, because you have to take the audience into a beautiful journey, whether sadness, sad, happy, sad, all of it. You need to be able to be very careful with how you tell and deliver that story. So I say, with great power comes great responsibility, right? Well, Force of Nature Productions, it's something I've had in mind since I actually was in high school. And that name kind of stuck since way back in the late 90s. And now I was able to bring it to fruition in 2016. And the mission of Force of Nature has always been to develop and work original new stories from local artists from all walks of life, and finding a way of nurturing those projects, giving notes, refining them, and getting them ready so that way they can be shown out to the world and to audiences in many formats, not just theater, because we have delved a little bit into film, but predominantly in the theatrical format. And the passion of it just stemmed from just loving theater. In high school, theater definitely saved my life. There's a whole history behind that. So I've always been very attached to that. And all the community and the people that I'm surrounded by, wonderful artists that are either writers, directors, actors, musicians, set designers, all walks of life. At Force of Nature, they get an opportunity to come together. It's a very collaborative environment in which if somebody ever wants to delve into something else and start learning about a different trade, we give them that opportunity. So we're very, very much a family. And when I say that, we break bread together, we come together, and you truly feel that when you come into to any production. From the moment you walk in, the experience begins there, and you really feel the warmth and welcomeness of the family environment we have created. And I'm very, very proud of that. I first met Tom way back, I want to say it was 2013, when he was doing staged readings of Geeks the Musical. And my girlfriend participated in that. She played Carrie, the lead in that. And I kept seeing and going to these readings, and I kept seeing the development of it, and it was just such a fun concept. And I really loved his approach, his comedic timing, and just his passion for what he was writing. So from a personal perspective, but also all the comedic elements of it and the relationships that he wove in and out of that script. And then consequently went into production, and I auditioned and I participated in that. So I was part of Geeks the Musical. And we just developed a great friendship. And I've always been a big fan of his work. I ended up reading more of his works and being familiar with it. And eventually I started directing his work. And now we've developed a great collaboration, producing and directing his work. And it's just been a wonderful, wonderful friendship, both on and off the stage. The reason why we wanted to do Figments was because prior to 2020, we were getting ready to produce his next full length, which was the ebook of love. And a little tidbit about ebook of love, he had originally written it for Raditha and I to participate in. And I think we kind of outgrew those characters. And we ended up casting getting a whole new cast for it, and we attached Corey to direct it. It was a wonderful director, and they were in the middle of rehearsals. We were ready to open maybe 3 weeks from now, and then March 2020 happened, and the rest is history. So we had to kind of put that on hold, and you fast forward almost 3 years later, and we finally were able to come back and start doing more in-person performances. So the first thing I wanted to do is I really wanted to honor that commitment that I had with Tom, that we were going to be producing that show. And the more we talked about it, we felt like we wanted to move away from ebook of love for now and find something that was going to be ready here for the fall, something a little more in the darker tones that had some more dramatic elements, because ebook of love was comedic. And Figments is a script that I had read a long time ago, and I remember had a beautiful balance of both comedic elements, but said within this dark environment of the struggles of this man, of this troubled man. So it just fit perfectly for the season and what we wanted to tell and where we were at as a company. Figments, I don't want to give too much away, but but the main element, it really follows a story of this troubled writer who has secluded himself in a cottage, in a remote cottage, so he can continue writing this new book that he's got. However, he keeps getting these strange visits from different people from his life. And throughout the course of the play, you're trying to determine whether the people that he's being visited are real or not. So that is the biggest question that the audience is going to have throughout the journey of the play, like who's real, who's not, and who's actually advising them and guiding them in the right direction. So I really love that guessing game. I really enjoyed Tom's writing because he's very eclectic. He doesn't just stick to one thing. He's really diverse, which really fits in a lot with our force of nature perspective. We don't just limit ourselves to one genre, and it just really fits very well. So whether it's comedy, whether it's horror, whether it's drama, whether it's short form or long form, we have events and projects for all those projects to fit in. So a lot of his work very easily fits in. So I know I can always pick up the phone, and if we have a project coming up, Tom will very likely always have something that he can submit that fits in very beautifully in for our night or for our event. I love all the actors are involved. The beautiful thing about this particular project is that every single cast member is brand new to Force of Nature. It's our first show with them. Coming out again from the pandemic, we had not done any auditions in quite some time. We've usually been filling up our shows from within our company and from within our membership. I think everybody was really hungry to get back, so we were very lucky that we were able to fill that in with company members. But for Figments, we really wanted to see new people and just audition for the company. And all these people just completely stood out. We saw an unprecedented amount of people for these auditions, more than we had in years past. And we saw some terrific, talented people, but these 4 performers that we're able to cast have just been sensational. We have David Tucker, Anish Chandak, we had Krista Conti and Celine Planata. And in the last couple of weeks, these guys have just, because they've only been rehearsing for about 7 weeks, they have just completely developed a bond that is beautiful and terrific, and they have a great synergy. So, and that really translates onto the stage. So when you see the performances, they come out very earnest and very natural. It's almost just like watching four friends perform rather than actors performing in a play, and it's been very unique and beautiful to see and to have them with us. Well, there's a lot of subject matters that take place in Figments that we're very excited to explore. There are elements of what happens when traumatic events happen in one's life. How does that affect us emotionally, physically, psychologically? The effects of that type of trauma and mental health awareness, being present, and there's a lot of elements that happen. There's mother-son relationships, there are friends relationships, there's intimate relationships. So all these elements are part of the story, without giving away too much, that are explored here, and what can happen when it reaches really, really extreme circumstances. So there is some awareness. There is something to a big part to take away from a mental health awareness part of it that was very intriguing to me. And it's talked about, it's very relevant nowadays, but I thought this was a great way of exploring it in a way that was that doesn't choose sides, is very in the middle, and it just presents the story and lets the audience think for themselves rather than to pick a side or be very specific or drive the audience in a certain way. So there's a lot of beautiful elements in it, woven within a beautiful comedic element. So the audience is still able to enjoy and disappear into this universe while still being very thought-provoking in the process. Well, I certainly think that everybody in Southern California should come to Figments. And the reason being is because we're a very unique theater company, and we are always very thought-provoking. We really try to push the envelope in everything that we can. We are not supported by major corporations. We are not a 501c3. So we 100% rely on our ticket sales and the supports of our patrons. But we do everything from passion, from love, and from the love of the art and from the love of each other. And the single mission in mind is to be able to entertain audiences, if only for an hour or 90 minutes or 2 hours, whatever the length is. We believe in being able to entertain audiences and have them just escape from the realities of the world. And Figments is a very unique, special project from a wonderful writer, a terrific, brilliant director, some wonderful original music, and some incredible performances by some of Los Angeles' most talented actors out there. So definitely should come out and check it out. I'm working on 3 to 4 additional productions. 3 of them are Force of Nature. 1 is a collaboration with Force of Nature. So because we have so many wonderful, very prolific writers that have contributed so much to Force of Nature, on Saturday, November 4th and Saturday, November 11th, we do what's called a night in someone's shorts. And this year we're recognizing Evan Boffman and Tyler Bianchi, who have been big contributors over the years to Force of Nature. So what we do is we do an evening of staged readings of their short plays in which they curate it, they sit down, they tell us about it, then the actors perform it. And at the end of the night, they each feature one brand new play that they wrote for the evening. But everybody from the waist up is dressed very formal, and from the waist down they're in shorts. So it's like a mini roast of these writers, but it's celebrating them. So that's 2 different events. And Tom Misuraca actually was one of the first recipients to be honored with a night in Tom's shorts. I believe that was back in 2017, which is the first year we did it. And then we're getting ready for our end of the year show, which is Rushing Around the World, the Holiday Adventure, which is it's a theater festival in which 8 original plays are written by 8 different writers, and they get teamed up at random with 8 directors, and they get also assigned 3 different actors at random via lottery. They get assigned a specific prompt and a prop and they have 1 week to write it, 2 weeks to write it approximately. We rehearse it in 3 weeks, and then it goes up for 1 weekend at the end of December. And that is how we typically end our year, which is our Rush Play Festival. And then we're going to be working on a collaboration with Zombie Joe's Underground, doing a Christmas Carol. Well, I will be performing as Scrooge. That's we're going to be closing out the year right after we close the Rush, and that's going to be a collaboration with Force of Nature. So you'll see some Force of Nature people and some people from Zombie Joe's collaborating on that one. So we're a very busy company. Well, the reason we would like more people to get involved with Force of Nature, and God, I don't want to sound I don't want to sound conceited, but like we truly are a very familiar, a very family oriented company. When I say that, and I really mean it, until you experience it, do you understand just the warmth in which we receive people. We're very open, we're very collaborative, we're very supportive, and that is just how we handle ourselves. And because we're a volunteer-based company, so there are no dues, and it's really a trust and it's a pact. When people come in and we contribute and we collaborate, we're going to put in all our efforts into making this project or supporting your project and supporting you as an artist in all ways. And we just expect the same in return. We all have very busy lives. We have day jobs that help support us. So the theaters are a way to escape, and we really take care of it. And it's our way to escape and create, and we don't take that lightly at all. So it's a fun atmosphere. It's a great, collaborative, beautiful family that I really cherish and take care of. And everybody's welcome. Anybody that would like to come in and get involved can always come in and just come right up to me and say, I'd really like to get involved. And we find a way of making that happen and supporting that artist to the best of our ability. Well, I really believe what we do is very important to the community because it's creating original works. And Force of Nature in particular, we specialize in original works that otherwise wouldn't see the light of day anywhere else. It's very difficult to have something produced in Hollywood, whether it's a screenplay, whether it's a theater piece. And why is it important for us? Because we really believe in the artist and we believe in the individual. And we believe these stories need to be told. Audiences need to see these stories because they come from a place of heart and they're very relatable. And it's very, very likely that somebody from the audience can come and see, and it happens quite often that they come and see one of our productions and they really identify and connect with something or someone or a character from it. And they just really feel grateful that they were represented and that they were heard. And it encourages them to want to keep coming back. So we really love the support that people have, and we have gladly accepted donations that really help support it. Like I said, we live and die by the ticket sales that really help fund what we do and continue doing what we want to do. So all those donations, all those grants, everything that takes place out there in the community to help support companies like us, it's very, very welcome. So we can continue telling these stories and keep the theater alive and keep the spirit alive for many, many years to come. The beautiful thing I've noticed, and if I may add this, is we have really seen a big youth movement. I have a 17-year-old son, a 12-year-old daughter. A lot of our company members have kids. And this year, they have all really gone involved because they've seen what we've done, and now they're writing. Like for this next Rush, we have 2 different writers who are under the age of 13. Another writer who's 16, and we have 4 different performers who are under the age of 17. So, and some of them are doing tech, some of them are running lights and building sets. So there's a big youth movement here. So it really feels good to be able to pass it on to them because they can carry that torch of theater and the love and passion for theater and the arts alive. I'd just like to mention that working with Tom Misuraca has just been a wonderful gift. Our friendship is something I really, really value, and his talent is something I'm a very, very big fan of. So to be able to constantly collaborate with Tom and work with him is just a gift. And I think people always come out of all of his plays feeling moved and inspired and feeling happy because there's always an element of life and happiness within his stories that just it starts on the page and it just comes across on the stage. And we're just very fortunate to have that opportunity to work with somebody as talented and as prolific as Tom. And what better way to do something that you love that with your best friends and people that you really care and cherish about. So definitely come out and check it out, because you're going to really see a lot of love, a lot of passion, and something that's going to keep you guessing. So you will be busy, and something that's going to be very thought provoking. So you're going to get all that rolled up into one bundle of 95 minutes of fun at a theater in North Hollywood. Hello, everybody. My name is Sebastian Muñoz. I'm the artistic director at Force of Nature Productions, and I'd like to invite you all to come out and experience Figments, which is Thomas J. Misuraca's brand new original dark comedy in North Hollywood, California. You won't want to miss it. Hope to see you there.